Hello, Dulcimer Crossing friends. This is Erin May here with you today for the Wednesday LiveStream. And I am just going to take a second to check and make sure that it is working over on Facebook. This is my second attempt this morning. Sometimes that happens. My mantra for a long time has been technology is our friend, and we just try to make peace with it. Okay, it looks like it is working this time. Excellent. Okay. So I'm Erin May. I am one of the teachers at Dulcimer Crossing, and I live in Kansas, so that's where I'm joining you from today. We're going to talk about minor tunes and how to know whether we want to use a capo or to tune in a different way to get minor stuff to come out of our dulcimer. There are several different approaches to playing minor tunes, but we tend to, not talk about them first thing. They come a little later usually in learning how to play the dulcimer. So today is a deep dive into a few different approaches into minor tunes. What we're going to do is look at one tune, the tune Cold Frosty Morning. I'm going to start by putting it up on the screen for us in the position of D-A-D capo 1. If you've played a minor tune, this might be the position on your dulcimer that you are most familiar with. Oh, and what I meant to say and didn't is that I am monitoring the live stream on Facebook. So if you have a question as I go through this, please just stop and ask me. Okay. Post a comment on Facebook and I will see it. So I'm putting my capo on my dulcimer. Oh no, something is not working. Hang tight. Just a second. There we go. There's our music. So this is the A part to Cold Frosty Morning, written in D-A-D, capo at the first fret. So I have just put my capo on here. And so now my drone strings are ringing E, B, E. So there's a few different kind of versions of minor tunes. They're called modes, and the same is true of major. There's the Ionian and the Mixolydian, and that's determined by whether we use the 6 or the 6.5 fret when we're in D-A-D. So the same thing kind of happens for us when we put the capo on the first fret, but the third note we play. So we start with open, and then we play a whole step up at the second fret, and now we have a half step at the third fret, which gives it the distinctive minor sound. Some people describe it as sad. Some people describe it as dark. Some people describe it as sort of melancholy or mournful. It definitely doesn't have the kind of brightness that a major scale would have, okay? And then in the same way that the 6 and 6.5 determine whether we've got an Ionian or Mixolydian scale happening without the capo, the 6 and 6.5 determine what kind of mode we're playing in with the capo at the first fret too. So generally, you're just going to look at what the music needs and you're going to play that one. But in a minute, that's going to become important because some positions on your dulcimer don't have that same choice. So we're going to look at this tune also as a scale starting at the 4th fret. And when we get there, it's going to be just a little different. So if I play up the fretboard, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, sorry. 0 is where my capo is, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's called Aeolian. And if I play 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5, 7, 8, that is called Dorian. the first part of Cold Frosty Morning does not go above the 5th fret. So doesn't matter. Okay? So let's play this A part to Cold Frosty Morning as it is written here. 1, 2, 3, 4. O, 2, O, 3 in the middle, O, O, 3. Melody 2, 3, up to 5 and 2, O, 3 in the middle, and 2, O, 2, 4. O, 2, O, 3 in the middle, O, O, 3, O, 2, 3, up to 5. O, 2, 3, 2, O, 3, 2, O, 3 in the middle, open. Repeat that. O, 2, O, 3, O, O, 3, O, 2, 3, up to 5 and 2, O, 3, 3, 2, O, 2, up to 4 and O, 2, O, 3, O, 3, O, 2, 3, up to 5. O, 2, 3, 2, O, 3, 2, O, 3, O. And then we're going to look at the B part just so we can kind of get this tune figured out how it goes, what notes are used and what phrases are used. So here's the B part on the screen for you. So this time it goes up higher. We get all the way up to the 9th fret actually, and we find that we do have 6.5s here. So we are playing in the Dorian mode for this tune using the 6.5 fret. All right, so let's try the B part together slowly. 1, 2, ready, play. 5, 8, 8, 8, 9, 8 to 5, 5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 5, 4, 5. O, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. O, 2, 3, 2, O, 3, 2, O, 3. Open. And repeat this B part. 5, 8, 8, 8, 9, 10, 8, 5, 5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 5, 4, 5. 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. O, 2, 3, 2, O, 3, 2, O, 3, O. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take that off the screen. I'm going to show you my dulcimer up close, and I'm going to play the tune for you up to speed. This is D-A-D, capo at the 1st fret. So I'm playing in E minor because my drones are E and B, E minor. And I am playing a Dorian tune with Cold Frosty Morning here. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, so that's Cold Frosty Morning in the key of E minor using the capo. But what if I don't have a capo, or what if I don't want to use my capo? Well, there is an option to retune your dulcimer, and If you want to stay in E minor, so you want to be able to play with your dulcimer club who's playing capo 1, the tuning that you would want to use is E on the bass string, B on the middle string, and D on the melody string. So, give me just a second here. The new tuning will be E, B, D, or E minor. Here we go. And I'm going to retune my dulcimer right now to that. I'm using an electronic tuner. I can kind of sort of do it by ear, but tuners are a useful tool. I believe strongly in investing in them and using them often. You don't feel like you have to be able to do this by ear. So both the bass string and the middle string are going up by 1 step. So they are getting tighter. If your strings are old, they could break, but usually they won't. You are pretty safe to go up a whole step on any of your strings. So now my dulcimer has this kind of wonky, wild sound to it. And my E minor scale is at the same place it was when I had the capo on, except that I'm going to have to press down on the first fret now. So I press on the first fret for my E note, then I have the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. Because Cold Frosty Morning is a Dorian tune, we're using the 6.5 fret, the 7th fret, and the 8th fret. So I can play Cold Frosty Morning following the same music that I did for capo 1. The only thing that's going to change is that all my zeros are now fretted notes, and any notes that were on the middle string when I was looking at my capo version, those middle string notes are now open on the melody string. The 3rd fret is open on the melody string. So it's going to sound like this. Oh, and then middle string is open. So 1, 2, 1, O on the melody, O on the middle. That's how we find those notes where the melody goes on to the middle string with the capo. So this A part in EBD tuning then is 1, 2, 1, O, middle melody, 1, 2, 3, and 5. You're gonna leave off the note on the melody on the middle string, sorry. So you're gonna play 2, 1, O, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, oh, sorry, 1, 2, 1, oh, middle open, middle melody, 1, 2, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, oh, 1. Play that A part again. 1, 2, 1, oh, middle melody, 1, 2, 3, up to 5, and 2, 1, oh, oh, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, oh, middle melody, 1, 2, 3, up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, oh, 1. Now the B part is going to be mostly unchanged because it was in the higher fretted notes anyway. So when we play this B part here, we're just going to play what's written, except remember the zeros are all ones. Okay, so here we go. 5, 8, 8, 8, 9, 8, 5, 5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1. Repeat that. 5, 8, 8, 8, 9, 8, 5, 5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 5, 4, 5. Melody 1, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1. All right, same thing. I'm going to take the music off the screen and just play it up to tempo for you one time here in EBD tuning. All right, so that's EBD tuning. It is also possible to play the same fret numbers in DAC tuning. So DAC tuning would be the same kind of tuning. The frets on the dulcimer would be the same, but it would give you the key of D minor instead of E minor. So if you are wanting to retune your dulcimer where you only have to change the tuning of the melody string, DAC tuning works well for that. So DAC and EBD are the same relative tuning, right? It's like tuning DAD to CGC. The tuning itself has stayed in the same relationship to each other. It's just the key that you're playing in changes with the different tuning. So I just wanted to name that for you. Jim Fry asked if there's a structural feature that allows the use of the capo. That is, are there mountain dulcimers that can't use a capo? The design of most mountain dulcimer capos is such that the capo is actually going across the fretboard. And so any dulcimer that has an elevated fretboard that's high enough for the capo to seat can have a capo on it. And so whether the fretboard has like fancy scallops or is solid, that doesn't really matter as long as it's deep enough. There are different capos have a larger or smaller length on I guess the part that attaches to the fretboard. And so if you have a capo that doesn't seem to fit your dulcimer, you just need to look for a different capo, not give up on it, because there are capos that have different dimensions to allow for the different widths of the fretboard and heights of the fretboard off the dulcimer. But I have yet to meet a dulcimer where a capo wouldn't work, including cardboard dulcimers. I've definitely put capos on cardboard dulcimers before. So it is pretty possible to put a capo on any dulcimer. So I'm going back to DAD tuning now, and we don't have a lot of time left, but I want to show you what this looks like, also starting from the 4th fret. So it's possible to play the same Dorian scale starting at the 4th fret. And y'all might have already tried capo 4 on your dulcimers to play some tunes that are in major keys. But because of the 6 and 6.5 fret on the dulcimer, the 4th fret also gives us access to some minor keys. All right, so I'm back to DAD tuning. And this time I'm going to put the capo on the 4th fret. Okay, so now my strings are ringing A, E, A. My dulcimer is tuned to DAD, but I have the capo on the 4th fret. So give me just a second, I'll put that up here for you. So we're back to DAD, but we're capo 4, which gives us a major or minor. In this case, we're going to play a minor. So to play our minor scale here, we start with open, and then we play the 5th fret. This time we're going to play the 6th fret, not the 6.5 fret. That's going to give us that minor sound. We've got from the capo a whole step and then a half step. So that 3rd note of the scale is the one that defines it as a minor scale. And then we play the 7th fret, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, so that's our A minor scale, and it is the Dorian one because of the position of the frets up here. So, wait. Yes, it is Dorian. Just making sure. Checking my work. It's Dorian. Okay. So now I can play Cold Frosty Morning, and this time I'm not going to put it up on the screen for you. I'm just going to play it here, and I'm even going to show you one more position. I have all of the tab for each of these tunings put together in a packet, and I would be happy to send those to you if that's something you're interested. You can just email me or send a message through the Dulcimer Crossing Facebook page, and I am happy to send you the tablature packet for Cold Frosty Morning with all of these tunings. I'm just going to do a demonstration here on the 4th fret. So here's how this tune sounds starting on the 4th fret. So again, because I'm using the capo, I have some notes on the middle string. Here's the B part. Okay, so that's Cold Frosty Morning with the capo on the 4th fret. The Dorian scale is possible here in this place on your dulcimer. Is there a tuning you can use to get the same position on your dulcimer? Guess what? There is! The tuning that we use for the capo 4 position, if you want to retune instead of using the capo, is EAD. It's called a reverse. Hang on, it's coming. It's called a reverse tuning because it's in the key of A. The middle string is tuned to the A note. The bass string is the only one that we have to change. So the A is the key that we're in. The bass string is going to provide the 5th drum. So I'm going to just tune this one by ear. Okay, so now I have a different sounding tuning than the EBD tuning. It's not quite as, it doesn't have quite as much tension in it, I think. See what you think. Try these tunings. EAD is one of my very favorite tunings. I like it very, very much. So now I'm going to just play for you Cold Frosty Morning here in this tuning. So I'm starting on the 4th fret. My Dorian scale is frets 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the A minor Dorian mode. Doesn't that sound nice? My drones are the E and A, so my drones are matching up with the scale that I'm playing. And here's what Cold Frosty Morning sounds like in this tuning. That's my favorite sound. You get all of the notes on the melody string. It's the only tuning for this tune that we covered today. There are other tunings that exist, but of the tunings we covered today, it's the only one where you get all of the notes on the melody string, and it is my favorite. All right, so in summary, you can play minor keys on the dulcimer. Today we looked at 4 different ways. We looked at EAD with the capo on the 1st fret. We looked at EBD, raising the bass string and the middle string by 1 step to put us in E minor, which would match capo 1. DAC is a common minor tuning, and EBD and DAC are the same relative tuning to each other. We looked at DAD with a capo on the 4th fret for A minor, and we looked at EAD, which is the tuning you can use to get into A minor. So those are 4 ways of playing minor tunes on the mountain dulcimer. They are not the only 4 ways of playing minor tunes, but they are 4 ways, and they're really fun to explore. I definitely would encourage you sometimes to just put your capo on the 1st fret, put your capo on the 4th fret, tune into DAC or EBD or EAD, and just make sounds on your dulcimer. See what sounds you can find in those places, okay? Because the sounds you'll get out of your dulcimer in those positions are different than the sounds you get if you're in DAD without a capo. So explore that. If you would like the tablature packet for Cold Frosty Morning in each one of those tunings, you can send me an email, erin@erinmaymusic.com. And if you love these minor tunes and are interested in exploring it more, I have a 6-week class all about minor tunes. We'll play minor tunes in each of these positions, different tunes. So we won't just take one tune and play it 4 ways. We'll just play different tunes in each position, and it'll be a really fun exploration of some of the minor key possibilities on the mountain dulcimer. That class starts next week, and if you are interested in it, you can go to my website, erinmaymusic.com, and check out the online class options. And I would be happy to tell you more about it if you're interested in that. Also, Dulcimer Crossing is fully crossed over to the new website platform for members who are already existing. And I think the formal transition will be happening in the middle of September. Today is September 1st, and that is all happening on September 15th. So make sure you check out Dulcimer Crossing's new website. We are so excited about that. Steve did a couple of walkthroughs of the new site in the open house videos. So if you're watching this on Facebook, do check out the open houses for that as well. All right, my friends, thank you for hanging out with me on a Wednesday morning. We'll see you next time. Bye.